Man, my phone, it's absolutely blowing up. We need an emergency session, a therapy session, in fact. Things are finally happening with the A's stadium saga, and they are not going Oakland's way. Now, it all started, the Nevada Independent put out a report saying that the A's have a binding agreement to purchase land in Las Vegas, sort of next to the T-Mobile Arena off the Strip. That's interesting because this morning I did see in public records that they had lobbied every single one of the Clark County commissioners. That's pretty significant. And they were lobbying about a site that is in that exact location, off Strip across from T-Mobile Arena. So does this mean the A's in Oakland are officially dead? No. Does it mean they're very close to dead, potentially even on life support? Absolutely. And that is scary. Now, my phone, like I said, is blowing up. I've heard from the Oakland mayor and the A's. Interestingly, Mayor Sheng Tao, in her statement, says that they are polling negotiations with the A's for Howard Terminal. That is tough to hear, but it's actually a pretty savvy move on their part. If they are not being taken seriously by the A's, why would they let themselves be used as a negotiation tool, a leverage tool for Las Vegas, to help their deal in Las Vegas? The A's have made it very clear. Rob Manfred, the MLB commissioner, made it very clear. Their focus is Las Vegas. They've been saying it for a while. Nothing has been happening in the last few months with Howard Terminal. So why let them use Oakland at this point? Is the deal dead? I don't know. Technically, no, but negotiations are off for now. Now, if I look at my phone right now, I'll check the statement I just received by the A's. And, you know, this seems pretty final, too. They say it's a difficult day for our Oakland fans and community. For more than 20 years, the A's have focused on securing a new home for the club, have invested unprecedented time and resources for the past 6 years to build a ballpark in Oakland. That's all true. You know, they've been spending millions of dollars a month trying to get this done. I had heard they spent over $30 million on the EIR. They're paying all of Oakland City staff, reimbursing them for all time spent on Howard Terminal. So they did put in the work. But the last few months, not much has been happening. There will be much more on that. Many more bombs to drop from me on this channel. Now you guys think I tell you everything I hear. I don't. I know a lot more. That will be coming. They say, we recognize that this is very hard to hear. We are very disappointed that we have been unable to achieve our shared vision of a waterfront ballpark. As we shift our focus to Las Vegas, we will continue to share details about next steps. Now, people remember, OGs in this stadium saga do remember, the A's announced Fremont, purchased land in Fremont, put out fancy renderings in Fremont, never built in Fremont. Same with San Jose. Purchasing land, putting out renderings, which I'm sure we'll see in Vegas, does not mean that anything will be built. But in Las Vegas, it's a whole lot easier to build than it is in the Bay Area. It's a simple fact. And things can go much quicker and move much faster, and they're far easier. The environmental concerns, forget all that out there. You know, I'm just trying to caution people, as tough as this is to hear, and it is very tough to hear, that until shovels hit the dirt, that hot Vegas dirt, it's not over. Like I said earlier, is it close to over? Oh yeah, it is close to over for Oakland. But it is not officially over yet. Glimmer of hope? Maybe a teeny bit. Not much of one. They have a binding agreement to purchase land now in Las Vegas. But this deal is pending legislation. Pending legislation. Is that going to be the new pending physical? Which we used to think was a foregone conclusion in baseball and then later learned it wasn't. Hello, Carlos Correa. Pending legislation. Still needs to happen. So what is this legislation? Let's take a quick look at that. I'm just going to read off my phone. We're keeping it real. It's late. My phone's blowing up. We got way too much going on. Pending legislation. So, the Nevada Independent says the plan would be to pass a bill through the legislature that will create a funding mechanism, including a special taxation district covering the stadium site, which would allow for sales tax proceeds to be invested in the area, along with an allocation of transferable tax credits estimated to be worth around $500 million. Clark County would also have to sign off on this new tax district. Now, it's interesting. While on the campaign trail, they also note Lombardo, the new governor of Nevada, made a promise to never raise taxes. A promise he intends to keep. So how will this tax district work? $500 million doesn't just materialize out of thin air now, does it? Oh boy. So that's pretty much all the major updates as we have them. I'm just getting tweet after tweet and text after text right now. But yeah, the Oakland mayor pulled out of negotiations. The A's are talking about Oakland as if it is something that they tried and failed to make happen. And that's where we're at right now. What could the A's do in the short term? I mean, for starters, they could play in the Las Vegas ballpark, the AAA ballpark. They're sure as heck not going to get a lease extended at the Coliseum. Their lease expires after the end of the 2024 season. And I don't see the JPA being very friendly with the A's if they try to extend that lease. So it's probably off to Vegas for them, and quickly after this season. You know, they won't be able to get a ballpark built until about 2027. If they were going to do it here, it would have been a year and a half after they came with an agreement to even break ground. Obviously, things will move a bit quicker in Vegas. 2027 would probably be the quickest they could possibly be in a new park. That leaves them 3 years after their 2024 lease extension to figure something out. So for now, crazy. This all came late at night. Not that late, after 9 o'clock. And I'm sure a whole lot more will come out later. And I'll have a whole lot more to share with you too, based on things I know about the developments in Oakland in the last few months. But that's for a different time. I'll leave you with this. The Giants, they were on their way to St. Petersburg. They were on their way out the door. They didn't end up moving. Things could be a bit different this time around. You know what's interesting about that St. Pete deal is the A's owners at the time, the Haas family, gave the Giants the territorial rights to San Jose in an effort to try to keep the Giants here. The Giants did not end up building at San Jose. And then when the A's wanted those rights back, the Giants said, nope, we're going to keep those. All of that, which down the road is kind of why we're at where we're at. The A's potentially ending up in Las Vegas. Very, very real possibility at this point. That's it. It's pretty crazy. Should be an interesting rest of the season. The A's are historically bad. One of the worst teams in baseball, one of the least spending teams in baseball. That is all on the ownership group. I have yet to see a lot of people clamoring for A's baseball in Las Vegas, but now with this commitment to Vegas, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Got nothing else to say. I'm tired. I'm going to keep texting people. Good night, A's fans. I feel for you out here in Oakland. True Oakland A's fans. The generational value. I mean, my dad took me to games. I was raised going there. I take my daughters to games. They ask me all the time when they can go to an A's game. Soon that answer may be never.